2 lines or 1?
2, that's perfect.
It was like that. I didn't even do that.
And then this one is on. Great.
Yeah, I put that one. I'll put that one on.
Great. Oh. Do you want me to take the wipey? Okay. How are we looking for numbers?
Lots of them. Tons and tons. Aren't you scared?
Thank you. Next Tuesday, I won't be here because I'm going to be teaching at Bach on the roof for their fundraiser class. So if you want to come to that and just take and hang, but otherwise,
You won't be here.
I won't be here.
Next, the 24th.
Yes. And then there's a couple dates in July that I'll be out for too.
I'll be out too. When are you out?
The Tuesday after July 4th. Do you have your calendar? 15th?
Me too. 15 and 22nd.
When do we leave? The 11th? 11th. Yeah, 15th and 22nd I'll be out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Where are you going?
Canada.
Oh.
Get back into the country.
For trip? For visiting?
With the girls. That's our summer vacation.
Fun.
We're going to go to Banff.
Banff.
It's hard to say. Banff.
I've heard great things.
Canadian mountains are.
Have you been there before?
I went there one time out with the girls, and then I don't think Mira realizes that's where I went. She was like, let's go to Banff. I'm like,
We've been there.
I'm like, yes, let's go. Like, it's so much better with that.
Yeah.
You'll be like familiar to like.
Hello. Happy belated birthday.
Oh, thanks.
How was it?
I mean, I just sat on my couch and played video games.
Hell yeah.
It was good.
Hi. Hello. How are you? Made it. The air conditioning's on.
Leave my house to get the yoga in once before it's 100 degrees.
Yeah. Is it going to be soon?
This weekend, next week, it's supposed to be really hot.
Like this coming weekend? Ooh. Okay. I haven't paid a drop of attention. I just wake up in the morning and say, cloudy again. Continue. Okay. Noted. Hi, how are you? Good. Tom, did you go to the protest on Saturday? Yeah.
Something was happening that I couldn't do. Because I saw you that night.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Heard it was nice.
I was inside, indoors.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Good. Hmm? No, I was working the whole Saturday. Well, this Saturday is my long Saturday.
This is your long one.
But last,
Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow? Four Seasons?
you're coming? Yeah. Yay, good. I was, for a moment, I was like, what day of the week is it? What's happening tomorrow?
You're doing like
Yes,
12,000.
I know. Saturday, I was teaching the yoga and the art museum got canceled because of rain. But in the evening, I taught in Kensington. There's this woman, Kimberly McGlone, who is a professor at Drexel and also opened a clothing company 9 years ago called Grant Boulevard. and it's all Philly designed, Black owned, beautiful pieces. And she was doing her studio closing. Like after 9 years, she's shutting down the fashion show. So she had a book talk and then asked me to teach a yoga class and then do a few other things. And I've known her from on the internet. We have some mutual friends on the internet, and I think her and Mariel know each other really well. A lot of people. And she asked Mariel to teach, but Mariel was on vacation, and I was like, absolutely, I'll go. And the sweetest part of all of it is that she sold, it was like a studio sale for her clothes.
Right.
And then it's have you been to, I always want to call it Fos, I got Cafe Roasters up in Kensington. It's an incredibly delicious Vietnamese restaurant that's up there that is in a beautiful new rehabbed warehouse building. Her studio is in one of those parts, and she's selling this Saturday the like creme de la creme of sewing machines, like the ones that all the quilters are saying, this is the one you have to get. So I'm trying, I know, so I'm trying to squeak in between this Saturday because she's doing the sale from 2 to 7. So I said after the assist workshop, go to Kensington and then come back, and then I'm laying down. I guess so. Excuse me, can I just put this in here?
I was showing Chloe, because I don't have TikTok, but somebody sent it.
Oh, I did see this. Yeah, incredible. Did you go?
In New York, I went with
Oh, nice. How was it? You posted pictures, that's right.
Yeah. You could, Fifth Avenue is just filled with people.
Wow,
As far as you could see.
that's amazing. Wow. Hi, how are you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. No need to get up. Feel free to get comfortable. We are, in theory, waiting on 7 more folks to come. There's so much space for all of them to fit in. But just a suggestion that I always have is that if you do see a drop of space next to you on the right or the left, to maybe scooch in closer to your friend so that those folks that are coming after work, fighting for parking in Queen Village, can slide right in. And then today we'll use all of the props. So 2 blocks, a strap for sure, and a blanket if you know your knees get a little tender, putting them down on the mat, and some therapy balls. We'll have some time to roll towards the middle and end of class. And if there's anything you want us to grab, we can grab those for you. Has it cooled off since last class? Are we feeling at a regulated temperature? Okay. It's unclear. Everything is uncertain. You're true. How are you? It's good to see you. Today we'll be doing Vishwamitrasana, because yesterday we did compass pose. So however you'd like to move. I'm moving a little slow today.
Which one is that?
It's the one that is, not Bird of Paradise, it's the arm balance variation of Bird of Paradise. So remember last night we did compass pose? It's similar, we'll play with a version of that.
And then your legs go out.
One leg goes out with the strap. So we'll do a lot of pigeon poses. I'll tell the story of the sage. I can show that one, yeah. So,
Show it so much better.
no, that's not true. I can talk you through it, however you feel, we can decide. And
All the lead up.
okay, and then we can swap. Great. Okay.
Better finesse. We'll give you that.
No.
You've been doing this long. That's fair to say.
But yes, okay, that's the only reason.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, hi everyone, good to see you. There goes 6:30 and there it went. So we'll get started, and as people start to filter in, take your time, get comfortable. We can grab props for you if you'd like, but we'll use all of them. And it's great to be with you. Tuesday, we made it. For those of us that are new to each other, some of you know this already, but when you're new to the studio and new to class, you get a very sweet little blue sticker next to your name, a star. And there was 4 blue stickers today. So on the off chance we didn't officially get to say hi, My name is Anisha, and Marcy's here assisting. And the way that class looks is we'll kind of swap from practicing from the mat. I'll be teaching and walking around so that you all and everyone at home can have a visual. But at any point, feel free to pause, interrupt, call either one of us over for any prop support, questions, and things that we can answer. Fair? Okay, last week, I can't remember, I'm having trouble now keeping track of what Marcy was like, I'll see you tomorrow. And I said, why? What day is it tomorrow? Because teaching a workshop. But for those that were in class last week, feel free to correct me if I was wrong, but we worked towards a pose called Vashisthasana. Yes? Okay, one head nod, and then maybe we've all forgotten. So last Hayana, we worked towards a arm balance, also known as side plank. And usually when I teach that pose, it comes in synchrony with another arm balance and a big hip opener. And as I was coming over here today and thinking about it, there's a phenomenal mythological story behind each one of these poses that we do. So our yoga practice, this asana practice, offers so much space within ourselves and our body and being. It creates length where there might not have been before, stability, but also each one of the yoga poses is named after a great mythological story. And the pose that we're moving towards today is no objection. So there was once upon a time, there was two great sages that existed in the yogic and Hindu mythology. One was sage Vashistha, and the other was sage Vishvamitra. It gets complicated because both of their names start with V and end with A, but they're two very different characters in the story. And their relationship and their feud is one of the great epic tales that's written in the Ramayana, one of the great texts of the Hindu and yogic canon. And it starts off, once upon a time, thousands and thousands of years ago, there was a great sage named Vishvamitra, and he had a lot of power. He had a lot of access to land. He had an entire army. And the most special thing that he had was this magical cow, a cow that could grant you all of your wishes and hopes and dreams. And so he protected this cow with everything that he could. And as the years and months go by, comes across this other sage named Vashistha. Now, Vashistha is known to be very patient, very calm, very, waiting for the right time in order to get what he needs to do. He doesn't come through with brute force, but he's very calculated with how he gets what he wants. So long story short, he ends up getting the cow. He steals the cow from Vishvamitra. Also, big asterisks for those of you who have heard this story or haven't heard this story or haven't heard stories from me, know that I tell them very nonchalantly. Nowhere in the literature or any of the text do you hear, and then Vashistha stole the cow, and the end. There's a whole epic lore and tale and morals that come along with it. But for the sake of our Tuesday night, Vashistha stole the cow. And then years and years and years go by. This feud continues. It doesn't end. And in the meantime, Vishvamitra, he has a change of personality. He realizes that going through brute force hasn't really gotten him anywhere. No matter what the size of his army is, no matter what the size of his power is, his holy cow got stolen. And so he spends hundreds of years as a renunciate, as a sage, as one who studies the literature and texts. And at the end, he eventually gets a boon from one of the gods and gets his cow back. So, the end. Why am I telling you this story? There's so many morals and life lessons that we can learn. The beauty of all of these mythological stories is while they are separate from us, you might not notice them in our daily lives in the 21st century, there's morals of the story that we can pick up on and begin to see. And Vishvamitra, the pose that we're moving towards today, Vishvamitrasana, is by no means an easy pose. It's no means a pose that we look to stay in for hours, minutes, even more than 3 or 5 breaths. But it's a pose that asks us to see what resources do we have available to ourselves, what spaciousness do we have available to ourselves, what variations do we have available to us in order to achieve the direction we want to move towards. So in the story, it's the metaphorical holy cow. In our practice, it's creating a lot of length in the sides of the body and in and through the hips. So that's where we'll see where it'll go and how it comes through. Vishvamitra was also most famously known, this is a little pop culture reference, for writing one of the great mantras of the yogic tradition. It's called the Gayatri Mantra. It's an ode to the sun. And Mariel years ago introduced me to the version that Cher sang. Cher redid the Gayatri Mantra in her Vegas residency. And if I can find it, they used to have it on Spotify. It's not there anymore. But one day, if you remind me, and if I can find it, I will find it and play it for you, because it is lovely. The queen herself knows no boundaries or walls or genres, and it's a great thing to listen to. So, Vishvamitra, your strap, your props, your breath will be your greatest resource. Take breaks, sip water, and the fans will go on as soon as we start moving. But thanks for coming. I'm glad you're here. We'll begin together in a comfortable seat, however that looks for you. You are more than welcome to begin lying down on the ground. You might start seated with your legs crossed or seated on your knees. If you are in a seat, I invite you to see what it feels like to sit up on a blanket or a block so that your hips might naturally fall higher than your knees and your low back can really lift and lengthen. And as you let your hands fall anywhere they fall, into your lap or on top of your thighs, let your eyes soften or close to listen for your breath. When we close our eyes, it's a moment to see yourself more clearly than before. To let each breath softly dissolve the morning and the afternoon that was. Let each breath help you arrive to where you are now. And let every breath that comes after make a little more room for what has yet to come. So as you feel for and listen for your breath, can it naturally begin to deepen, where each inhale moves from your nose down into your belly and up into your heart. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the very crown of your head, creating more space for more breath. A few more rounds just on your own, as each inhale moves in, down, and wide. And each exhale pours itself up, out, and through you. Our practice, it's first and foremost an offering to your breath. This breath that surrounds us, that connects us, and informs every single thing we do. So as we begin our practice here with each other, with 3 more rounds of that same breath, give yourself a moment to bring your hands to center, where that may feel for you. Wait for your inhale as it fills you up, and exhale to offer your breath out. 2 more times, just on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your breath. And as you keep that attention inward as best as you can, let your hands slowly release, blink your eyes open, and come forward to tabletop so we can begin to link breath and movement together through a few rounds of cat and cow. You might have your blocks framing out the front corners of your mat. You might use them as we begin to move about. But in today's table, bring your hands as wide as your mat if they're not already, and even a palm print forward of your shoulders to take up some more space. You want to come right here? Now with your knees under your hips, curl your toes, feel the arches of your feet, and begin to round and arch your spine, moving with your breath through rounds of cat and cow. Let's go for 4 cycles of breath just on your own. Really feeling how your breath and your body can start to harmonize together. Stay in the more rounded or arched, a few extra cycles of breath. You might move more forward and back, your hips towards your heels, and then shoulders forward of the wrists. But can you take one more slow breath in, even sniff in a drop more at the top of your inhale, and exhale to offer all of that breath out. Come back to table, find your neutral spine. And now as you walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders, bring your knees back behind your hips, curl your toes under, and we meet in downward facing dog as you lift your hips up and back to the wall behind. In your down dog, you might stay still. You might pedal your heels one at a time from side to side. You might bend and straighten your knees simultaneously. But can you offer it to your breath, taking a deeper breath in and a longer breath out? When you find your next exhale, lift the heels, soften your knees, look forward, and one foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your palms to walk it into your forward fold. The blocks are right there if you'd like to bring your hands high up onto blocks out in front of your feet. Feel free to widen your feet an inch or two or soften your knees in service of giving your low back a little extra space. But as you bow in towards yourself, let your head be heavy. Take a longer breath in and a steadier breath out through every direction of you. On your next breath, climb your hands up to your hips. Stand down through your legs, and on your inhale, come all the way up to rise as you release your hands down by your sides. With your feet right under your hips, take an inhale to reach your arms forward and up to the sky. And on your exhale, soften your knees, hinge at your hips to fold over your legs. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, hands to your blocks or shins as you reach your chest forward. And exhale to fold, plant your palms and step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. Your knees might be lifted. You might tap your knees down behind your hips. But as you press your palms down into the earth, feel the shoulder blades broaden on your upper back, and then slide your ears back so your head comes in line with your chest. A big breath in. And on your exhale, bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift up through the chest. Hug your shoulder blades together. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog, tabletop or puppy pose for 2 deep breaths. This epic tale of the feud between Vishwamitra and Vashisthasana. It's a tale of brute force versus patience and time and attention. And it's here, neither is better or worse, but it's seeing which one serves you in the given moment. So steady your breath in, can it fill you up in every direction? And a long breath out as you press through your palms to lift your hips up and back behind. At the bottom of your exhale, lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands, into your forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, think chest long to the front of the room, and exhale to fold in towards yourself. Use your own fists, measure your feet 2 fist width apart, and as your toes point straight ahead, bend your knees, sit your hips back, and climb your palms up onto your thighs for this round of chair pose. Now think hips towards the back of your mat. As you press into your legs, lift your heart away from the earth. Now on your inhale, begin to reach your arms overhead by your ears. Take a full breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Think butt to the back of your mat as you lift your heart and gaze away from the earth. On your inhale, come all the way up to rise. Reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot back to catch your lunge. Spin your left heel all the way down to the ground. And for this hybrid pose called down dog lunge, walk your hands to the left corner of your mat. So your whole body comes inside the right leg. Let your hands be forward of your shoulders, wider than your shoulders. Imagine if you can split this pose in half from your hips up, you'd be in downward facing dog. And from your hips down, you'd be in warrior two. So as you push your palms down and forward, lift your butt up and back towards the long edge of your mat. Now take a deeper breath in. Stay for your exhale. You might bend into your right thigh as you guide your right knee open towards those pinky toes. Nice. On your next inhale, walk your hands back to frame out your right foot. Step your left foot forward with all the hops you need to meet your right. Inhale to lengthen halfway, grow longer through your spine. And exhale to bowing in. For the second side, keep your left foot forward, step your right foot all the way back through to lunge. Spin your right heel to the ground, and now this time walk your hands to the right corner of your mat. You might even come onto the floorboards out. Your hands might be on blocks, on fingertips, but as you use your hands, push them down and away from you, and let that lift your hips up and back towards the long edge of your mat. And as your hips stay lifting, take a full breath in. Stay for your exhale. Can you bend into your left thigh, guide your left knee open, and press your right pinky side edge of the foot down into the ground. Now on your inhale, walk your hands back to frame out your left foot. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels from side to side and a moment to notice any difference from leg to leg. Now on your inhale, come forward to plank pose, the top of your push-up. Exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise for Cobra, Bhujangasana. Let the shoulder blades hug on your upper back. And exhale to take it back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, take a full breath in and a deeper breath out through every direction. Now on your next inhale, lift the right leg up and back. As you exhale, draw your right knee to your nose for core plank. You can always tap your right toes down to the ground, but bring your shoulders over your wrists. And now lift your left thigh higher, lift your butt higher, and into that, scoop the right thigh 1 more inch forward. Inhale to extend the right leg up and back. And now 1 more as you exhale, draw your knee to your right armpit. Flex your right foot, lift your left thigh, lift your butt, lift your gaze, and draw the right thigh 1 centimeter forward. Inhale to extend the right leg up and back. And on your exhale, step it all the way through to lunge. Spin your back heel down to the ground. Climb your right forearm up onto your right thigh and bring your left hand to your hip for this version of extended side angle. Good. As the right knee and toes point straight ahead like they did in down dog lunge, use your left hand just to see and feel. You might slide it down towards the top of your left thigh, like if you were to stick your hands in your pockets to here. Now notice if that left thigh is moving forward. Can you send your butt back so you send the top of your right thigh back? Feel the fabric of your pant leg crinkle. And as you stand down into that right foot or the left foot, bend into the right thigh and hug the shoulder blades together. We're trying to create a hip opening in that back leg. You can keep your hand on your hip. You might reach your left arm to the ceiling or overhead, but take a long breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Think top of your left thigh back as you bend into your right knee and thigh. Good. Now change nothing in your legs. Reach the left arm towards the back of the room. Inhale to rise for warrior two. Stay for your exhale and bend 1 more inch into that front leg. Now press your right leg straight. Take a breath. Get long in every direction. For triangle pose, bring your right hand to your block or the floor. Let's all come to the inside of the right foot today. So on the big toe side edge of your foot. Once your right hand taps something solid, feel both feet on the ground again. And it'll feel a little harder when the legs are straight, but can you send your left thigh up and back? As the left thigh goes up and back, press your right fingertips down to stretch the left arm 1 more inch to the ceiling. A deeper breath in. Stay for your exhale and slide the throat back to lean back against yourself. Now on your inhale, unwind. Bring your hands back to the ground. Bend your right knee and step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels 1 at a time. Notice any difference from side to side. Now 1 more time together. Inhale through to plank pose, the top of your push-up. Exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Drink in your breath for cobra. Think shoulder blades together as you slide the throat back. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Wait for the inhale as you lift your left leg up and back. As you exhale, draw your left knee to your nose for core plank. Now as you slide your shoulders forward of the wrists, lift your right thigh higher, lift your butt higher, and into that, can you carve the left thigh a centimeter further forward? Inhale to extend the left leg up and back. And now one more, left knee to left armpit. Flex the foot, lift the right thigh, lift your booty, lift your gaze, and draw the left thigh one more inch towards the left shoulder. Inhale to reach the left leg up and all the way back. And as you exhale, step it through to catch your lunge. Pivot your back heel to the ground. For Parsvotkonasana, bring your left forearm to the top of your thigh. And if it helped, you can bring your right hand to your hip. Now this will help us in the pose that we're moving towards in Vishvamitrasana. Sometimes what happens is that right thigh goes forward and the chest goes back. So you might do the opposite. Even lean your chest forward, send your tush back towards the long edge of your mat. And as you stand down into that right foot, anchor your left butt cheek towards the ground and left knee open, trying to create a hip opener in the side-facing pose. Stay here and breathe. Maybe reach the right arm up or overhead, but a full breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Let the left thigh get heavy as you guide your left knee open. Now keep the legs the same. Reach the right arm back. Inhale to rise for warrior two. Stay for your exhale and bend one more inch into that front thigh. On your inhale, straighten your left leg. Reach out through the fingertips. Get as tall as you can. And exhale for Trikonasana. Let your left hand come to your block or the ground on the inside of that left leg for today. Once your left hand comes to something solid, can you hug your feet towards each other from front to back? And now as you send your right thigh up and back, feel your left butt cheek anchor towards the ground to guide your left knee open towards your pinky toes. Take a full breath in. Stay for the exhale, even lean back against the steadiness you've created. Now on your next inhalation, unwind, lower your hands, bend your knee, step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal your side to side and a breath to notice what you feel and see. From your down dog, lift both heels, soften your knees forward, and come forward, feet towards your hands into your forward fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, grow longer through your spine. And on your exhale, fold in towards yourself. Wait for the inhale to come up to rise. Urdhva Hastasana, reach your arms up towards the sky to stand. And exhale to let those hands come down by your sides. Does everyone have a strap you can use? If you need one, you can wave a hand and I can bring it over to you. But find your strap, unravel it from its rubber band. And we'll take a moment in the shoulders before we begin. Anyone need a strap? Okay. So as you hold the strap in your right hand, let both feet be underneath your hips and a tiny bend in your knees if you know they lock. Now holding the strap in your right hand, reach your right arm all the way up to the sky. Bend your right elbow and give yourself a pat on the back. Now reach your left arm to the side, turn your left thumb to face the floor. And as you bend your left elbow, grab the dangly edge of the strap in your middle, upper, lower back for Gomukhasana, or cow face pose in the arms. Now, as you hold the strap behind you, can you wrap your right arm towards your right ear? Slide your left elbow more to the middle of your spine. And as you try and tug your strap apart, press your head back to lift your chin. And slide the ribs back to breathe into the middle of your back. That's it, a full breath in. Stay for your exhale, let the knees be soft as you lift the crown of your head to the sky. And then inhale to unwind your arms. Release the strap, switch the strap in your hands and shake it out for a breath or two. Second side, hold the strap in your left hand. Reach your left arm all the way up to the ceiling. And as you bend your left elbow, pat yourself on the back. And let your right arm reach off to the side. As you turn your right thumb to face the floor, bend your elbow and grab the dangly edge of the strap behind you. And now here, as you wrap the left tricep towards your ear, slide your right elbow to the middle of your spine. And now slide the ribs back as you gently press your head back to lift your chin. Can you create some resistance as you tug your strap apart, press your head back into that left arm? A big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Try to release the gripping sensation of your fingers around the strap. And now on your inhale, unwind, unravel your arms, ditch your strap to the side. We'll use it later. Take a full breath in to reach your arms forward and up. And on your exhale, take your time, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to catch your lunge. And now a moment to assess. We're coming into either pigeon pose or lizard lunge. So for any reason, pigeon doesn't feel supportive on your knee or on your hip, you'll come into lizard as you walk your right foot to the outside of your right hand. For pigeon pose, you'll heel toe your right foot over to the left and lower your right shin and knee down onto the ground. Now everyone lower your left knee onto the floor. Come high up onto your blocks or high up onto fingertips out in front of that right leg. We're coming in for a thigh stretch here. So before you lift the back knee, hug your legs together. Hug the left knee forward. Push into the floor to lift your heart. And now bend your left knee to lift your left toes up off of the ground. Stay here, or with your right hand on your block or on the floor, reach your left hand around for the pinky side edge of the left foot or the ankle or a strap. That's it. Draw your left heel towards your left butt cheek. And now can you slide the belly and ribs back towards the back of your mat? Hug the shoulder blades together and look away from the ground as you take a full breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Lift your heart, lift your gaze, and soften your jaw. Now on your next inhalation, with care, release the hold of that back foot. Plant your palms, take it back to downward facing dog as your right foot meets your left. Pedal the heels and a moment to notice what you see and feel. Now from your down dog, lift both heels, soften your knees, look forward, and come forward, feet towards your hands into that forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, grow longer through your spine, and exhale to fold in towards yourself. Take a breath to rise, stand through your legs, reach up through your arms. And now as your arms stay reaching, grab your right wrist with your left hand. Grow 1 inch taller to the sky and tip up and over to the left for standing crescent, a side bend. Your hips might sway off center over to the right. But as you tip to the left, think ribs back, slide the throat back to lift your chin, and then maybe bring your arms back in line with your ears. Now inhale to come all the way up through center, reach up to touch that sky, and exhale to fold in towards yourself. With your left foot forward, step your right foot back to catch your lunge. And now your choice completely. You can do the same pigeon or lizard, or something different depending on what you're working with in that knee or in that hip. But for lizard lunge, you walk your left foot to the left. For pigeon, you walk your left foot to the right. In your pigeon pose, do see that your left knee is as wide as the left side of your mat. Take up a lot of room. Let it come as wide as the left side. And now with your hands high up onto fingertips or blocks, press into the ground to look away from the floor. Bend your right knee to lift your right toes up off the ground. Breathe here. Or with the left hand steady on your block or on the earth, you might reach your right hand around for a strap, the leg of your pants, the pinky side edge of your foot or your ankle. But now as you come into this thigh stretch and back bend, notice if the ribs and belly want to move forward. Slide the ribs back, breathe into the middle of your back, and slide your ears back to lift your chin, a breath. And then slowly, with care, release the hold of that leg, plant your palms, take it back to downward facing dog, A breath to feel gravity beneath you. And from your down dog, lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward to come forward, feet towards your hands. Inhale to lengthen halfway, grow longer through your spine. And exhale to fold in towards yourself. Take a breath to rise, stand through your legs, reach your arms all the way up. And as you grab your left wrist, grow up and over to the right for standing crescent on the second side. Can you feel the bottom ribs move back? What this does is it helps broaden the middle of your back. Then slide the ears back to lift your chin, and maybe bring your arms back in line with your ears. Now on your next inhale, come all the way up through center, reach up to touch the sky, and as you exhale, fold, bowing in. Plant your palms to the top of your mat. Walk your feet to the back of your mat to bring it back to downward facing dog. And your choice, stay right here breathing. You might lower your knees to the ground and take your breaths close to gravity in table or child's pose. Or your breath might take you through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together already. But anywhere you choose to go, can you offer it to your breath? That's it. A longer breath in every direction, and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth as you pour the breath up, out, and through you. Now, as you make your way back to downward facing dog, take your time to find your way there. Lift your right leg up and back. Step your right foot through to catch your lunge. And now as you pivot your hands and feet over to the left, come into your wide-legged forward fold, facing the long edge of your mat. Good. If it feels like if you were to lift your chest, there would be a butt directly in your head. Stagger slightly with your friends, unless there's a pre-arrangement, but some come forward, some come back. And now on your inhale, do come up halfway to lengthen. Keep your hands on the ground as you reach your chest forward. A little threading of the needle action, so you'll keep your left fingertips on the floor and reach your right hand behind your left. Grab your outer left thigh, your calf or your ankle, really go above or below that knee. Knees usually only go front to back and not so much side to side. Now, as your right hand grabs your left leg, walk your left fingertip towards the long edge of your mat, towards your friend in front of you. As you hold on to that right leg, begin to bend your right elbow towards the front of the room and turn your belly towards the back. You're twisting underneath the arm. Good. Notice if the hips want to come with. Lean your butt more to the right. Turn your belly and chest to the left. And your ears back to lean back. You can stay right here for the last few breaths. You might inchworm your left fingertips over to the right towards the front of the room, as if you could grab onto the right leg in the next, but a full breath in. Stay for one more inhale, and then on your inhale, slowly release the hold of your right leg, turn your left knee and toes to catch your lunge, and step your right knee and toes, sorry, my bad, that direction, down dog, take it all the way back, but good listening. Notice what you feel. One last side. Lift your left leg to the sky. Step it through or around to catch your lunge. Pivot your hands and feet over to the right and stagger with your friends as needed as we come into this wide-legged forward fold on the second side. Prasarita Padottanasana. As you inhale, come up halfway to lengthen. Think chest long towards your friend in front of you. And now as you keep your right hand down, thread the needle, reach your left arm behind your right, and grab onto instead of the underside, grab onto the outside of your right leg. So the pinky side edge of that leg itself. As you grab above or below that right knee, walk your right fingertips forward towards the brick wall, and now begin to bend your left elbow to turn your belly and chest towards the back of the room. Can you lean your butt to the front of your mat, turn your heart to the back of your mat, and then slide your ears back to lean back against yourself. Stay right here, breathing as best as you can. Or you might walk or worm your right fingertips over towards the front of the room as you turn your belly and chest to the back of the room. A breath. Stay for the exhale. And then on your inhale, unwind, release. Turn your left knee and toes through to lunge and step it back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, everyone lower both knees to the ground. Take a breath in tabletop, in child's pose, in puppy pose. Sip some water and take notice of what you feel. Toaster strudel? Toaster city? Hot? Warm? Comfortably warm? Okay. This pose, we're doing one variation now and then we'll revisit it again in a moment. The Gayatri is another name for an ode to the sun. And so this pose is often taught in the heat of summer to really build that internal heat, to create heat so that you can find space to find some length in this variation. So the first one I'll show you, take a breath, sip water, shake out anything you need to shake out. The first variation to show is the one with your knee down on the ground and holding onto your strap. We've done this pose in a lot of component parts. We've done a lot of extended side angles. We've done Gomukhasana, and we just did that twisty, wide-legged forward fold. And it's puzzle pieces of all of those shapes that bring this version together. So I'll show you very quickly, and then we'll try it once on each side. So some options. Your props will be your greatest resource to find length and space in this pose. So you might have a blanket underneath your knees and blocks underneath your hands, and your strap very ready. But this pose will start from tabletop, and you'll bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand in lizard. Now you swing this heel off to the side, keep your hand on the ground as you open up to the long edge of your mat. This, it's known as gate pose, is also extended side angle, but your back knee is down on the ground. And now here, as you hug the legs together, you're reaching for the fingertips and getting a lot of length in the side of this body. Now the next variation, if you so desire, is you bring your hand to the outside of your foot, you find your strap and lasso it around. And now as I lean into my block, I lift this foot up off the ground. Now this, you see how this leg is very similar to the pigeon or lizard lunge leg? I'm thinking, draw the knee towards the armpit, shrug the shoulder up and back, and then maybe this leg extends forward. Maybe you give yourself enough slack on the strap to reach this leg towards the front of the room. When you want to come out, the foot lowers, as many grunts as you need to come back to all fours. Yeah? I'll talk you through it before we get into it, and this is going to help us in the next version we try out too. If you didn't have a sticky mat underneath you, just to be demonstrative, I'll show you. If you don't have a sticky mat underneath you, this back knee, all it wants to do is slip slide away from you. And you'll feel that when you come onto the mat. The back knee really wants to reach back. So your action, it's less about what this leg is doing. If it lifts, amazing. If it straightens, beautiful. But you're thinking, how much can you pay attention to the solidity of your back leg? You're hugging this knee forward. You're sending this thigh back. Remember we did that here? Top of the thigh back in extended side angle. If you don't, that's okay, but I'm reminding you. So here, this knee hugs forward. This thigh pulls back. And then that gives you more room and stamina to extend this leg without this trying to happen or this trying to happen. Yeah? Your thigh is vertical. You're hugging everything into the middle. Let's try it. Let's see where it goes. So find all of the resources available to you. Have a blanket under your knees for cushion if you'd like. Do have your blocks framing out the front of your mat. And have your strap off to the left side if you're using it. Now on all fours in your tabletop position, bring your right foot in between your hands, in between the blocks. Swing your left heel to the right and climb your left hand onto your left hip. So you open up towards the long edge of your mat. Left heel to the right. That make sense? Yeah, nice time. Swing it the other way. There you go. Now, as your right hand stays on the block, on the outside of your right foot, hug your shoulder blades together, slide the ears back, and reach the left arm up towards the ceiling for gate pose. Now, already, can you hug your left thigh forward, send the top of your left thigh back, and anchor your right butt cheek towards the ground to guide your right knee open. Stay right here. If you want to explore with the strap, look down, grab the strap in your left hand, and lower the block to its lowest and flattest height, so it's most sturdy. Now, as you lean into your block, hold both edges of the strap in your left hand, lean into your right palm, lift your right foot up off the ground, and think right knee to your right armpit. Think pigeon pose. Now watch for your friends. You might straighten your right leg straight ahead towards the long edge of your mat, and then you give yourself enough slack on the strap to bend your left elbow and reach your right foot towards the front of the room. A breath. Stay for the exhale. Slide the throat back, and when you want to come out, look down, lower the right foot, and take it all the way back to tabletop. Okay. Oh, it's so crunchy. It is Crunch City. We are honey crunches of toast right in here. The suggestion that I have for that, one, is walk this hand further forward. I only suggest not to bring your hand high up onto a block because it gets wobbly when you're balancing your whole body weight on it. But if that feels most supportive, maybe you find 2 blocks there. And the higher up this bottom hand gets, the more space you'll find and feel to even use your hand to grab onto the foot. Yeah? You're lengthening through here. The tendency of this pose is to shrink the sides of your body. That is just the nature of this pose. And so our practice is not to go through it through brute force, like one of the sages did, but to create space where there might not have been before, taking a moment to pause, to create length through the hip, to create length through the hip, to keep the crunch, but create length through the hip. But it is crunch town. One more side. Any other questions? Just clear it out of the way. Okay, tabletop, please. With your blocks, have your strap to the right side of your mat. And now bring your left foot in between your hands. Swing your right heel to the right like a kickstand. And as your left hand stays on the block or on the ground, bring your right hand to your right hip, gate pose to start. Good, turn to face the brick wall side of the room. And now here, already perhaps crunchy in the left side body. Can you shrug your left shoulder up and back? Slide the ears back as you reach your right arm up to the sky. A breath in through the nose, out through your nose or mouth. Stay exactly where you are, or you might look down to the ground. Find your strap and lasso it around your left foot. Now hug your right knee and thigh forward. Lean into your left palm and lift your left foot up off the ground. Think left knee to left armpit. Straighten your left leg towards the brick wall. Maybe you bend your left elbow to reach your left arm overhead towards the front of the room. A breath. Stay for the exhale. And then on an inhale, slowly unravel yourself. There's always one side for me that feels bionically different. Right side, it's like my body has never existed in space. And the left side, it is a stretched out rubber band in there. So there might have been one side where there was a little more space or not. But that looked great. One more round. Okay, so an option. We've already prepped and primed our way to be here. If you didn't hear me whisper that, I said one more round. The one with the bottom knee down, which we just did, is a much more, it might not have felt like it in the moment, but because there's so much more of you touching the ground, you got a knee there, you got a hand there, you got blocks there, it's the variation that'll provide you more steadiness. Now the next version is a little less steady itself, but it's all of the component parts that we've put together. So again, I'll show it to you, and as always I say, if you see this, and even 1% of your body says, Anisha, I have absolutely no desire to do that. There's never an obligation. I'll show you the variation. You could do the one with the knees down that we just did, or you can come into pigeon or lizard lunge. But it starts off like this in a moment. You come to your down dog, and now we might have forgotten about it, but we did these. You lift one leg up, you draw your knee towards your armpit, pivot your back heel to the ground, and now lean into one hand like you did on your hands and your knees. You find your strap, lasso it around the foot. And now remember, gravity wants you to do this. Yeah? It wants to bring the hips down because it is a strong, unwavering force. You must think, how high can I lift my back thigh up and back, up and back, up and back? And the more I stand through my back leg, then you might begin to straighten this leg towards the long edge. Maybe you reach your leg forward towards the front of the room. And then when you want to come out, you lower the heel and slide it into pigeon pose, the knee towards your wrist. So, options include, do the one with your knee down, exactly as you just did, and then land in pigeon. You can come straight away to pigeon and be and breathe there the entire time. Or I'll talk you through this version, last round of Vishwamitrasana, the great sage who through brute force tried to protect his holy cow, but learned over the thousands of years not the strategy to employ. It was patience, it was steadiness, it was learning lessons and being unwavering. I couldn't find Cher. I really tried. I would have played her right now, but maybe that's homework for next week. It's good. I think it's on YouTube, and I just can't do that to you. Yeah? Everyone have something that they want to try or explore. Pigeon pose right away. The variation we just did with the knee down, then you come into pigeon, or this version of Vishwamitra that I'll talk you through. Let's do it. Okay. Tuesday, baby. Come to, if you are coming into that version with the knee down, take this time to work on your own pace. Call either of us over if you have questions. For the rest of us who are, or for others who are going into pigeon or Vishwamitra, come into downward facing dog, please, as you lift your hips to the ceiling. In your down dog, if you're moving to Vishwamitra, have your strap to the left side of your mat. You may or may not use it. And now on your inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Either come into pigeon, stay here, we'll meet you here, or as you exhale, draw your right knee to your left shoulder. Now spin your left heel all the way down to the ground. Lean into your right hand and let your left hand grab onto the strap so you can loop your strap around the right foot. Now pause. Lift your left thigh up and back, up and back, up and back. And maybe you straighten your right leg towards your friend in front of you. Maybe you stand so much through your left foot that you bend your left elbow and sweep that right leg towards the front of the room. A breath. Try to stay for the exhale, and whenever you do not want to do this anymore, lower the right foot, slide your right knee to your right wrist, and pigeon pose for all together forever is where we'll meet. Whew. That's it. You see what I mean when I say in the beginning of class? It's not a pose that we stay in for hours, days, minutes, but it's a pose that's wobbly, unwavering, and tests the boundaries of our own capacity. It's a pose that asks everything of your body and being. And so here, how do you find the full depth of your breath as you take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out to slow yourself back, to call yourself back to who you've always been? Take one more big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Try to unclench your fingers, soften your jaw, and soften your tongue. Okay, if you folded into your pigeon, come on back upright. We have one more side to do, even though the music is moving towards sleep. But that's where we're coming to next. One day I'll make a playlist since 2017. But until then, we're still on rotation. Last side, Vishwamitrasana. Any questions before we do the last round, or just yes? You can lower your knees, sit back, take a breath.
So I feel like because you're on your left or your right hand and your left foot, you're very like kind of spread out. Is it better to try to get them closer to the tightrope, or should
I like the spread out because it gives me more access to lifting my back leg. When I do come into a tightrope, I feel like, oh my goodness, what's happening? But if you want to start the working edge of moving, coming, bringing the hand and foot in line, absolutely, yes. Yes, yes, exactly, flat block. I would say not this one, but flat, yeah. Always, every time, we love them.
Are you grabbing your foot like on top or underneath?
Pinky side, this way. This way. And then what tends to happen here, which we played with an extended side angle, is this thigh wants to go forward. You see that? Here. You want to send this thigh up and back so that the thigh stays rooted. So instead of coming to here, which is a version, I don't know what it's called, but I'm sure it's a version of something. You got to stand your ground through your back leg. That's where the steadiness will come from. I've never done that one. That kind of feels nice. But for next class, should we try the other side? Down dog. Sweaty. A breath. If you're coming into that version of Vishwamitra, bring your strap to the outside of your right hand. Thank you. And now inhale to float the left leg up and back. Left knee to right shoulder. Spin your right heel to the ground and lean into your left palm, which is on the floor or on a block. Now, as your right hand gets light, grab onto the strap to loop it around the left foot. And now lift your right thigh up and back. Let's say, Kishan, nice. Up and back, up and back, up and back. And then maybe you straighten your right leg towards the brick wall. Maybe you bend your right elbow to reach your left leg forward to the front of the room. A breath. And the exit strategy is you release the left heel down, release the strap, and slide your knee towards your left wrist for pigeon. Whew. Full pretzel. You can stay upright in your pigeon. You can lower down onto your blocks or forearms. But give yourself a moment to call yourself back. That story of Vishwamitra, after his cow got stolen, he was in a great rage, a great fury. He didn't take defeat lightly. He plotted, he tried to seek revenge, but was never able to get what he wanted until he gave himself time to see what his resources were. And through that, he was able to write one of the greatest mantras to become even more powerful than he could have ever imagined. So as you find a few breaths in your pigeon, come on back to upright. We meet in one last downward facing dog of class as you lift your hips to the sky. A breath or two to let yourself arrive. And now from your down dog, inhale through to plank pose. As you exhale, lower and take a long breath in cobra as you lift your chest. A few extra breaths. Hug your shoulder blades together. Slide the throat back as you drink in your inhale. And on your exhale, release to lower all the way to the ground. Press up through to tabletop. And in a moment, you'll come onto your back with your head facing the front of the room, your feet facing the back of the room. As you come to lay on your back, have one of your blocks within a reachable distance, and also have your pack of therapy balls. If anyone needs therapy balls, please raise a foot or a hand, and Marcy and I can bring them over to you. But find all of your things, place them off to the side so you don't have to get up until it's time to leave. And as you come to lay onto your back, bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor, knock your knees into one another, and bring your hands to your belly or onto your chest. Take a big breath into your palms and open your mouth to let that breath go. Take another breath in through the nose, fill up into the back of your chest, and open your mouth to let that breath go. Now keeping that connection to your breath. With your feet wide, your knees bent, watch for props and neighbors, and begin to drop your knees over from side to side for windshield wipering through the knees. Let your belly be soft and full. Let your hips soften to the ground. Let the back of your head get heavy to the earth. Take a full breath in through the nose and open your mouth to let that breath go. Now, after you've gone evenly from side to side, draw your knees and hips back through center. Find your block, and we'll take a few moments in supported bridge pose. So with your knees bent, feet on the ground, press through your feet to lift your hips and slide a block to its lowest or its second lowest height underneath your tush. Once you find that block, wiggle your shoulder blades towards each other and gently press the back of your head down to lift your chin away from your chest. This is Cher. Your arms can stay here. They can rest on your belly. They can come alongside of you. But 3 deep breaths at your pace. Take another full breath in. Let your belly and chest expand. And open your mouth to let that breath go. Now press through your feet to lift your hips and slide that block out from underneath your tush as you lower your hips down onto the ground. Knock your knees into each other one more time, and as your hands come to your belly or chest, a big breath into your palms and open your mouth to let that breath go. One knee at a time, give your legs a hug in towards your chest. And as you grab both knees, you can make some small circles in one or the other direction. You might lean gently from side to side or come to your version of happy baby as you widen the knees. Let your hands catch the backs of your thighs, your ankles, or the pinky edges of your feet. But let the back of your head and your tush be heavy on the ground as you take a full breath in. And on your exhale, release the hold of your legs down to the earth. Now I'll talk you through therapy balls in the upper back this evening. If you'd like to set up early for rest, we'll meet you there momentarily. But for those doing therapy balls in the upper back, you can keep them in their tote or take them out, it's up to you. But hold them in your hands as you lift your head and shoulders up off of the ground. Now pop the therapy balls in between your shoulder blades to the very top tips of your shoulder blades themselves. As you find somewhere you can breathe in and be curious about, you might bring your head down onto the ground. Or if you'd like to alleviate any pressure, you might bring your head up onto a block at its lowest height. For remember, this work with the therapy balls, perhaps it's your first time, or it's been a while, or it's been often, it's less about being in the place of the most intensity, where you feel the most sensation. But can you breathe through the full fluctuation of what you feel? Take a deeper breath in through the nose and open your mouth to let that breath go. Take 2 more, in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. And the longer your exhales get, the heavier your upper back might become. Now to find 2 more places in that upper back. With your knees bent, feet against the ground, press with the least amount of effort needed to roll your body towards your head so you feel the therapy balls come down your back to the middle of the shoulder blades, slightly lower than just where they were. With any props to support you, take a full breath in and open your mouth to let that breath go. You might keep your arms exactly where they are. Or to explore any gentle variation, you might reach your arms straight up towards the ceiling with your palms and arms heavy. And just being mindful of props and those around you. Perhaps your left arm stays to the sky as you reach your right arm overhead towards the front of the room. And then you begin to switch as you reach your right arm towards the ceiling and your left arm overhead. If you are moving those arms, see if you can move 2% slower and let your breath be 10% more full. Sniff in more at the top and exhale every ounce of your breath out. Now, after a few breaths, release your arms down by your sides if they're lifted. For 1 more place, press through your legs to roll your body north so those therapy balls come south to the bottom of your shoulder blades. So still in the upper back, just slightly lower than before. And as you take a deep breath in and a long exhale out, let your jaw, your tongue, and the back of your head soften into its support. You can stay right where your arms are, or you might reach your arms towards the ceiling and give yourself a hug as if your hands could reach for the therapy balls behind your back. Let the palms and the fingers be soft. You might lean slightly from one side to the other or stay still. If you are giving yourself that embrace, you might switch which elbow or arm is on top, just to see what a difference begins to feel like. A long breath in, and open your mouth to let that breath go. Now unwrap your arms if they're wrapped around you. Clear any blocks from underneath you, and a few ways to make the exit journey. You can scooch your hips towards your heels so you feel the therapy balls roll up your back. You might also roll over onto one side, push them out of the way, and come back to lay on the earth. But however they exit, see if they can fully come out for the remainder of rest. For sometimes they create more tension than softness. And now the next place we'll meet is in Shavasana, your pose of rest. So give yourself a few moments to take anything it is you need, any layers you'd like to add, any props to support you. You might let your hair down or set your glasses safely off to the side as you drape yourself onto the altar of the earth. And know that at any time you can always adjust or shift as needed. But can you be as comfortable as humanly possible against the earth? And as you call yourself back to your breath, let each breath that you take dissolve the entire practice that was. Let each round of your breath help you arrive to where you are now. And every breath that comes after Make space for what has yet to come. So as you let each round of your breath, let your body get heavier into its support. The heavier your physical body becomes, the more spacious and the more expansive you may just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a sweeter breath out. Take another breath in, down and wide. And as you exhale, offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head from one side to the other, heavy against its support. Just watching for any props and neighbors around you. You might reach your legs away from your arms or draw your knees in towards your own chest. But when the time comes, you can bend both knees, reach one or both of your arms overhead as you roll over to any side of your choice to curl into yourself. A breath or two here against the heaviness of the ground. And as you press into the floor, come up to rise to a tall seat, similar to how we started. With your eyes softly closed or softly open, can you once again listen for your breath? Take a deep breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out in every direction of your being. Our time together will finish with one more of those breaths. You can draw your hands to center anywhere that feels for you. as you take a deep breath in, to let it all go. You might bow your head to your heart or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple but sweet gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who practice right alongside with you. And Marcy and I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for choosing to be here. Thank you. Drink water, take great care of yourselves and each other. Caroline says it's going to be 100 degrees this weekend, so do drink water. Find those, I think city pools are open, so find your paddling pool. If there are any props you use from the studio, there's wipes here to just give them a swipe with, because it's always helpful to keep things tidy. And then I have some announcements that you can totally tune out as you're setting up, but tomorrow, my dad and I are offering a yoga and tabla class from 6 to 7:15 on the roof of the Four Seasons. Good Chocolate is sponsoring some treats there. There's ginger shots. Mariel's been teaching the last 2 Wednesdays, and they've gone beautifully. They're on the 57th floor where the pool is in the spa section. And I think there's only 4 spots left. So if you're interested, I would, it's on the Three Queens website. And if you Google Four Seasons Wednesday and Three Queens collaboration, it should be all on there. This Saturday, I'm doing a lot of yoga and music. Kale and I are doing a yoga and cello class for the summer solstice. So she's a professional cellist and a yoga teacher. That's from 6:30 to 8 right here. And then next Tuesday's class, I will be at the roof of the Bach teaching my annual fundraiser class. So if that's your jam, I teach it once a year. Last year, everyone did the wave in lunge, and that was the highlight of my life. But 100% of the proceeds go to Vamos Juntos, the Philly nonprofit, and it's all through KG Strong. So if you're free on Tuesday night and not scared of the heat, it's at sunset on the roof of the Bach, and it would be nice to see you. Bach building in South Philly. It's the old school that has a lot of BOK. Mm-hmm. Yes. Class will still be on, but I'll be over there. Someone else, yeah.